Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for the XRP price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Let's see the XRP what is doing. And before moving inside it, let's just remind you with all-time history 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished wave A or wave 1, ABC of course, as a complex structure where we see W, X and a Y to finish a wave B or a wave 2. And here we go, we're moving toward the upside. Of course, we would like to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for higher prices. Continuation, of course, for a major A, B, and a C, or potentially a big wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toward the upside. So let's move, of course, on the 2-hour chart for the structure that we are looking at right now. After this move toward the upside, of course, we got our 1, 2 here. You're looking at a wave 3 and a very massive long corrective wave where we can see a potential W, X, and a Y. Finish, of course, in the 3 waves, taking the low here, of course, invalidation of triangle, meaning, of course, W, X, and a Y here finished, and starting to move toward the upside. Let's move inside the micros here. Inside the micro analysis, we can see, of course, that we have a potential impulse toward the upside here as 3 waves for a wave 2 or a wave B. And of course, continuation of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse, finishing wave 3 or a wave C. Meaning it can be, of course, as well A, B, and a C, finishing a wave A here. And you got, of course, as well a very sideways correction for a wave B, of course, and without reaching the 1-to-1 fib level. And that means, of course, that this correction has finished somehow with the bottom exactly there with this wave C. So that means, of course, A, B, and a C, and you have to consider this a part of the impulse, or you have to consider it as W, X, and a Y here without reaching the low. And that means, of course, that this part can be a part of this impulse or not. It can be, of course, W, X, and a Y without reaching the low here and moving impulsively toward the upside. So we have 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, obviously. Your wave 3 is a 1, A, B, C for wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave 3, and then 4 and a 5. Or this is an A, a B, and a C, of course, expanding flat. 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potentially. Let's check, of course, on the 15-minute chart. So let's label this, guys, to start as if we have 1, 2, and then we're looking for 3, 4, and a 5. This should be, of course, the brackets in white. We have inside it, of course, a wave 1 here. Wave 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 3, 4, and a 5 in gray. Is this a finished wave 5? Here is the question. Well, it is 3 waves toward the upside, and that means your wave 5 is not finished yet, meaning your wave 4 is extending, of course, and moving to this side to finish later on, of course, a wave 3, and then having a wave 4 later and a wave 5 again. So these are the possibilities right now for XRP. We are looking potentially for a wave 4 here finished. It can be, and then we're looking to a wave 5. But be careful that this is looking as well like A, B, and a C, but the wave C is not finished as impulse. And even invalidated as an impulse. And that means, of course, that it might be, of course, a W, X, and a Y here. W, X, and a Y finished exactly as this bottom. So here we go. W, X, and a Y. And potentially finished as this low to finish a wave 4. Here we go. This is a wave 4. Potentially you start a leading diagonal wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 3, and then 4, and a 5. Yep, so these are basically the counting over there to finish, of course, a major wave 5 here, which is, of course, it's going to be the round here. Here we go. And potentially it can be as well wave C. Yeah, so be careful because we have an A, B, and a C as well. Yeah. Yeah, so these basically the scenarios. Let's talk about targets. So as targets, we are looking anyway for this blue zone. Yeah, 1.618 is preferably for a wave 3 here. Oh, okay. So yeah, here are the possibilities right now since we are projecting targets. Yeah, we just right now hit the 1.27, which is supposed to be your wave 3, guys. And after this wave 4 here, it's a little bit impossible to say this. So the potential scenario is going much higher for an ABC here. Yeah, A, B, and a C for a wave A, and this is a wave B, and you might be in a wave C. Okay, because the wave 3 here did not reach the 1.27, and that is problematic. Yeah. Because you don't have the minimum requirement fib level for wave 3. I'm just checking the fib level if they are right. So they are. And we did not. So, yeah, we have to be careful, guys, because that means, of course, that we might be in a zigzag here. Yeah, so potentially, or here we go. Let me add the fib levels for a zigzag, and that means, of course, that the zigzag might reach the following fib levels. The following fib levels are, of course, here where we have a 1, 2, and potentially you would like to see, yeah, you would like to see potentially a wave 5. But if this wave 5 is extended, then you can say, okay, we reach the 1-to-1 fib level as a big zigzag. But based on that impulse here, and because this says that it is a finished wave 3 in 5 waves, you're looking at a correction. So one more leg for wave 5. And that means, of course, it is much more closer, even with an extended wave 5, to only reach the 0.618. $2.5, very psychological number as well. So very, yeah, very tricky. So be careful. It looks like an impulse, but it is not an impulse, guys. It is not confirmed as an impulse because the wave 3 is very short, is less than 1.27. And this gives higher potential, of course, that this is a wave C over there, A, B, and a C. And then, of course, unfolding a wave B after a wave A, B, and a C. And of course, you have to watch this level first because it might be an extended wave 5 and only reaching the uncommon target for a wave C in a zigzag. Yep. If we take a look at KGT as well on the 15-minute chart, we can see on the 15-minute chart invalidation of bearish taken already. So that is a good signal for the bullish. You have a divergence here and of course moving toward the upside and still looking for higher potentially. And of course, but don't forget that you still have, yeah, this far, it is, those all signals here are invalidated as bearish. You still have one signal that it's creating divergence, convergence with the price action coming from this area. It means if you take this high here, therefore, I would say, okay, you might look for a very extended wave 5. We might be in a bull run for XRP. Yeah, back to the chart. Meaning, if you move to the 1-to-1 fib level, okay, you would like to see this high broken, yeah, to say that you are in a bull run. Okay, so you would like to break the 1-to-1 fib level, invalidate the bearish signal, and then of course moving towards the 1.618, $3.5. This is your bullish scenario. But currently we are still at the low, and we are a little bit behind the 1.27, which is not really good thing. And the problem is, if you want to count this as 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, the problem with this wave 2 is very sideways, and I believe it did not even reach the 0.38. So here we go. If we have here the fib levels taken, we did not touch the 0.38, I believe. So yeah, we did not. And that is a confirmation that, yeah, this is a wave B and not a wave 2. Yeah. And that means, of course, you might have a short wave C here. Okay, so we have to be careful what it might happen if this will be the case scenario. That will, of course, bring us to a longer sideways, of course, range where you have W, X, and a Y. The wave Y can be unfolding in a different scenario here as 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then 5 waves down. Yeah, so a longer scenario, which, by the way, it should match the time with the W. Let me check. So if you take the time with the W here, and based on the X, oh, okay, well, as you can see, you did not reach the 0.618. You would like to see a 1-to-1 FIP time for a wave Y, preferably, of course. Yeah, so that means, of course, it gives much higher possibility that you might still range here for a wave Y as 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then moving toward the upside. It can be that you don't take the low even. It might, show something like this and then moving toward the upside. Yep, so these are the possibilities for XRP. Now, of course, on the local time, we're still looking for higher. We are still in an impulse, potentially as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, unless, of course, invalidation of this impulse at this price. So, invalidation of bullish when you interfere with the zone 1. So basically, you would like to see higher prices currently, but be careful at this zone in case, of course, it starts to show some weakness. That was it for the XRP. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.